Hey everybody, Edo here, and this is Heldentaufe, and that means the hero's journey or hero's baptism. And this game was designed by Simon Junker, Casper Wyss, Bastian Kalin, with illustration by Matthew Lesen. And the good folks at Board Game Circus sent me a copy. I can't even find where to buy this online yet, but I have to say, holy moly, this game looks fantastic. I mean, we playing with some people. I played with Seth. Seth was like, it's good. It doesn't seem that different to me. But if there is art that has my number, it is this art. It has so much personality, so much vibrance, theme, story, and life. It is just an absolute pleasure to look at and draws you in, and it's just awesome. The art in this game is awesome. The components are really nicely done. There's a nice insert in there. Be ready to pop out a bunch of stuff. And such a good looking game. So amazing. So amazing. But how is it as a game? This game's a whole lot of fun. It's really a family-focused adventure game. And it reminds me a little bit of Adventureland by Haba Games. But I actually like this one more. There's a little more setup. And boy, I wish there wasn't as much setup. But it's just more evocative. I reviewed Adventureland, and I felt like Adventureland just sort of felt like you were doing this grid movement. This really brings out a theme in a story. You're one of 5 kids. They all are a little bit different. They've got a different buff. And you start in this overworld campground. Now, little, problem is that they don't all fit on one tile so much. But you can deal with that once you start having more tiles. And I would take these super cool tokens, but there's the overworld and the underworld. You can't get to the underworld until you unlock it in the overworld. On your turn, players have 3 stats. They have their action points or movement point stats. They have their bracers, which is oddly what potions they can make, and then they have their attack power. And so you have your inventory. And what you have equipped, and your potion slot. And also each kid has a certain amount of hearts, different hearts for different kids. There are also some monsters. Anyway, once you start moving, you start revealing tiles. So you're like, hey, this is forest. I'm gonna move here. Oh, and hey, look, there's a building. And that lets me do certain things. And I'm trying to look for there you go. Or a plane. And each one of these locations has a different sort of event or trading or selling thing that you can do. But you're expanding this map as you walk. And if you hit a forest, your turn ends in the forest, and you're going to roll a die. But you're expanding and walking around, and everyone's building out this map. As you go, you reveal a portal tile. That's probably off camera, but a portal tile. And once the portal tile is revealed, players can go to the underworld. So, in the overworld, everyone has mission cards. And mission cards allow you to get gear and bones, because the player with first to get 13 bones, or based on the number of players, but first to get all the bones back to the starting campsite wins. So, missions give you bones, and missions give you items, and missions give you gear. And you'll be walking around collecting goods, fish, apples, and fruit. Apples are fruit, and mushrooms, by finding the apple tree, by finding the lake. And when you get there, you can stock up. As you walk there with an action, then you get a free stock up. So you're stocking up on those goods. You're using them to complete quests. Like the guy wants you to bring back to the hut or the house. He wants you to bring something. You do that, you get a bone or you get a gear. You can then upgrade your gear at the blacksmith. And there's this whole lot of walking around, extending the map type of thing that's going on. While you're doing that, you're earning bones. You never have to go to the underworld. Oh, and when you go in the forest, you end your turn, but you get to roll and you find gear or bones or whatever. You never have to go to the underworld. So you can just play as this guy who's got this huge pack and just go running around on top trying to get gear. And you can sort of thwart each other and steal from each other. But that's totally a way to play. Or you go into the underworld, which is super cool and has lots of rewards. If you portal down into the underworld, you're then in the underworld. And movement works the same, but there are these tiles that can be nothing or traps. There's a treasure in the middle where you get to roll the treasure die 3 times, and there are all these monsters. Once, you can just go up and attack a monster if you have the action points, and it's simple die rolling with buffs. Attack or tie win. Whoever's attacking, if you tie, you win or better. And if you kill the monster, you're going to get a bone. Each time you kill a monster, he's removed from the dungeon, and you get the bone. It's worth more and more points, and he's stronger and stronger based on the stack. Really nice idea here. But let's say you don't attack, then the boss monster, he's not really a boss monster, but this monster token gets placed on the table. And then when this guy comes up in sort of the turn order, the other players get to move the monsters in the dungeons. And chances are they're going to come and attack you. So it just works. It's fun. It's evocative. And, you can continue to fight them. Once a monster's killed, he's out. And once the treasure's found, it's out. It's not until everyone leaves the underworld entirely and it's empty that it resets, much like a dungeon in a video game. And when that happens, they all come back and they've leveled up. It's a nice way of doing it. Like, it sort of empties and you're like, well, there's nothing in here. Gonna go back to the overworld, and then it fills up and people go back in. Nothing about this is roll and move, but it sort of feels a little roll and move in a way. Like, nothing is too... You sort of have your mission cards and there's some strategy here, but it's light. It's a lot of pieces and components, but the play is sort of like, doot, action point here, delivery, end my turn here, sort of working up my skill sets, my points and my skills. And there's lots of different ways to play, but it always sort of feels pretty light. And I think that keeps it squarely in that kid's family zone, but in that kid's family zone, I think this is awesome. So, it's no brain burner in here, but there's, fun to be had, and there's some thieving cards and other things that'll let you to, it'll take that so that you don't have too much of somebody tearing ahead, but lots of fun and execution on this. Quality of the components, quality of the art is through the roof. Through the roof. So I highly recommend checking this game out, especially if you have family and kids in that, 7, 8, 12, 13 range. I think we'll just adore this game. So, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Most importantly, play some great games. Thanks.